10 years ago, I was sitting in my kitchen with some grandchildren, and I was leafing through the magazine of the Royal British Legion, and I turned a page and burst into tears.
Oh.
Grandpa, what on earth's the matter? And I said, look at this photograph. This is John Bannister. I thought he must be dead, but he's very much alive. And I told them the story about how he saved my life, and they went up to their bedroom and they wrote him a letter.
Oh.
Dear Mr. Bannister, thank you for being so brave, thank you for being so professional, thank you for saving Grandpa's life.
Oh.
And a few months later, Jean and I visited him so that I could pay my respects, and he had retired as a Chief Petty Officer, and he knew that I retired as a Commander. So he opened the door and said, hello sir, welcome. And I said, John, you saved my life, my name is Charles.
Oh, I love
and
that.
we've been pals ever since.
I love that. Is he still with us? Is he still?
Yes, he is.
Oh, good.
Yes, he's...
Oh, good. I was also a bit worried when you said about being up to his neck in water. He may not have made it.
He survived, and his DSM was awarded by Her Majesty in one of her first investitures at Buckingham Palace.
That's amazing. Wow.
And he managed to keep it quiet for about 60 years, and then suddenly somebody discovered that he had Distinguished Service Medal, and proper honours were given to him.
Good.
He's a great chap.
Oh, that's amazing. That's wonderful. You'll have to send him this video.
Oh yes.
Oh my goodness. Gosh.
So then, the following day, the ship was damaged and therefore not fully operational. So we were ordered to go to Japan, to a place called Kure, to go to a dry dock.
Mm-hmm.
And the following day at sunset, we buried Jimmy Addison at sea with full naval honours, and then went to Kure, and of course we were absolutely exhausted trying to repair this hole and failing, but we got the ship into dry dock without sinking, and then a broadcast was made. Refreshments are available on the dockside. Well, I was just a teenager, so I was always hungry. So I tottered down the gangway, and there, 10,000 miles from home, was a Salvation Army canteen van.
Oh.
And I heard the 7 most beautiful words in the English language.
Okay.
Cup of tea and a rock cake, dear.
Oh my goodness, a cup of tea, definitely.
And so...
oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was lovely.
I thought you were going to say sushi or something.
And because in those days the voting age was 21, and at 17 I was still a boy, I was ordered by their lordships to leave the ship and go back in an aircraft carrier to the Mediterranean. So where I joined one of the cruisers in one of the cruiser squadrons, and that meant that at the age of 17 I'd served in the Home Fleet, the Far East Fleet, and the Mediterranean Fleet.
Wow, gosh.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I suppose most people don't even manage to do that in their whole life.
Yeah. The Mediterranean was a delight in peacetime, except that we did have what was called the Suez crisis, when the Royal Navy took over running the Suez Canal, and that was a very interesting process. I came under sniper fire, but they weren't very good at it, so they missed. And I had then I had a job as a crew of a tug, which was commanded by one of our lieutenants, and we had to tow an ammunition barge down the canal. And when we got halfway down, we received a very pompous letter from the Suez Canal Company in French.
Yeah.
accusing us of navigation de nuit, um, uh, running the ship at night.
Okay.
And the lieutenant didn't speak French, and I'd learned French at school.
Oh, of course.
So he said, well, write it up in the log. So I wrote up in French, we have received this letter from the Suez Canal Company, but as we don't understand French, we're not taking any notice of it.
Amazing.
It's a great life in the Navy. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wonderful, I love that.
And then later on, there were riots in the dockyard at Malta, and we all formed up in ranks to stop the dockyard workers from wrecking things and that sort of thing. Armed, would you believe, with broomsticks.
My gosh.
We must have looked fearsome.
Oh my god.
But life in Malta was good, and around the Mediterranean. You know, I went to France, for example,
Yeah.
where I went ashore. I was now an ordinary seaman,
Okay.
not just a boy sailor.
No.
And I was walking through the town, and I found an hotel. And I'd looked through the window, and there was a chess club. So I walked in and watched the game, and when it finished, one of them got up and left, and the old gentleman asked me if I would like to play. So I sat down and we played a game, and after about 20 moves, I was just about to move a piece, and he said, if you make the right move now, I will resign. So I thought again, and yes, I made that move, and he knocked his king over and resigned, and he said, you may now boast for the rest of your life that you have defeated a former champion of France.
Yeah.
So
Good.
that was wonderful.
Oh, yes.
I spent 2 years in HMS Liverpool in the Mediterranean, and then I went to HMS Dryad, which was then at Southwark.
Okay.
You know where I mean? North of Portsdown Hill.
Yep.
And I learned there to be a radar plotter 3rd class.
Wow, okay.
Which meant that I could operate a radar and plot the results for the command to make decisions on, that sort of thing. And so I was sent to HMS Sheffield, and a ship of the same class as Liverpool, a cruiser like Belfast in the Thames.
Okay.
And that was marvellous. It was all showing the flag in those days, unless there were any gun runners about, which was not very often.
So what does showing the flag mean?
It means going into harbour for about 4 days, giving a cocktail party, playing football matches,
Okay.
perhaps marching through the town, whatever it was, and giving a presence. And businessmen, wherever we went, said that their businesses improved immensely after a warship came in and showed the flag. Yeah, there were all sorts of interesting things to do, like we went to New Orleans.
Wow, okay.
For 4 days during Mardi Gras.
Oh, wow.
And it was absolutely wonderful. The first night, the captain and the commodore gave the usual cocktail party, and by now I was an acting leading seaman.
Okay.
Really going up in the world, you know. And my job was to be quartermaster on the gangway, which meant greeting all the guests as they came aboard.
Okay.
And saluting them ashore and so on. And at the end of this cocktail party, the captain and the commodore went ashore in their mess undress, looking frightfully smart, wearing boat cloaks. And they'd been invited to dinner at a restaurant called Antoine's, which was famous. And the following night I had leave, so I went to Anton's, and I opened the door, and the manager saw me in my sailor's uniform, bell bottoms, came rushing across and said, "Gee, we've got the Royal Navy here again tonight. We had a couple of your boys in here last night wearing them cloak things." So I followed on from a couple of our boys.
Lovely.